this time of year. Shh, I'm in. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ben from the Parker Brothers and welcome back to another fishing video. And you're probably thinking, Ben, you're in a funny area. This isn't a lake behind me. I'm actually in the Parker Baits HQ. So what I'm going to do is this morning, guys, I've got to pack some orders, get some baits in the freezer, and I'm going to be heading down to the lake we've actually got on site. I can't wait. It's going to be a quick one, this video. It's sort of that flat period between sort of like Christmas Day and sort of New Year's. I'm sort of in between that two at the moment. But like I said, I cannot wait. And like I said, hopefully I'll give you a little bit of a taste in your mouth of what Parker Baits HQ is all about. So what I will say is, guys, before I start this video, give us a thumbs up, make sure you comment down below, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward, and hopefully I can bring you an absolute banger. So like I mentioned, I'm actually in Parker Baits HQ today, guys. So we actually outgrew the garage. We actually started in my brother's garage. We painted all the walls ourselves, and all our hard-earned money we bought the machinery with and stuff over years and years. We just put a little bit of money away every year, and all that sort of money we bought our machinery, and we took the dive and actually left my job at 12 years. So it was a massive risk. But things are starting to pay off, and it's thanks to you guys watching the channel and obviously purchasing Parker Baits, and I greatly appreciate that, guys. So yesterday, what I'd done is I was down here with my father because Tom was actually at the darts yesterday, and I made plenty of fresh bait. I had to do an OG fish mix yesterday, which is it's a squid and octopus base with fermented chili, and it's an absolutely beautiful bait, and it's been a game changer throughout the duration of this year. But in front of me now, I've got some dumbbells, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start packaging them up. We've got a new packaging here, guys, as well. Really excited with this. Again, massive investment from our point of view because we're only a small family-run business, and we got these really happy with them, just to try and give the customer something back. And when we go into phase 2, going into next year, we've called it phase 2, myself and my brothers, when we go into the shops, we start approaching shops, and that is when the packaging is going to come into play, because sort of the science behind that, guys, if you're interested as well, is I didn't want to put a product in the shops and it be a Ferrari product but in a Citroen Saxo bag, if you like, because we had these little plastic bags. What we actually got is now we've got a Ferrari product in a Ferrari bag next to other Ferraris there. Because what I don't want people doing is lifting up that freezer, looking in and thinking, what's that, never seen that before. If they've not watched the channel, then there's no reason for them to sort of buy the bait, because they have no background on it, don't know what it's like, don't know the proof in the pudding, haven't seen fish come out on it, so therefore you're not going to buy it. So there it is, I won't waffle on that. So without further ado, I'm going to carry on, guys. I'm going to get this done as quick as I can because I actually want to get my rod out and catch some fish. So I'm going to leave it at that, and like I said, I'm going to start packaging up. I'll see you in a second. So that is the dumbbells done and the fish. Come on, in. I like that, that's good, isn't it? Come on, in. And now I'm on to the 18 millers in OG fish, then on to the 14s, and then do some fishing. So nearly done with the 18s, there they are in the packet there. Really happy with them. And also another favourite of mine, something I was using particularly the bigger baits in the summer months up Linear, and had some real good fish this year. And also Berners Hall, that put a 40 on the bank for me this year as well. So let's carry on. So that is the 18mm is done. Now onto the 14s. Wee up, that's a heavy one. Let's get these done. And then, like I said, some fishes. So 14mm done. Moving on to the chops now. Now just very quickly guys there. This is our chops. Basically what we do is we chop it for you, so you don't have to when you're on the bank. So very quickly then guys, what I wanted to do is wanted to touch on it. You're probably thinking, what are these little bags? Now the reason for these little bags is we don't really do sample packs as a business or anything like that, but if you are in the local area and we are in Parker Baits HQ, you're more than welcome to ping us a message and pop in, and I don't mind sorting people out of these little sort of handful of baits just to get a taste in your mouth of what Parker Baits is all about. This is the OG fish, and obviously the lighter colour is the OG fruit and nut, which is that one there. There's some 18mm there that have been in there. So there they are, but do keep that in mind guys. Right, so very quickly today, just before I go down and have a fish, I'm obviously going to prep for my bait. Now these are actually, I cooked these yesterday, these are the 14mm. But just say for scenario's sake, obviously these were in your freezer. I would have got these out yesterday and started throwing them out overnight. So what I'm going to do is kilo of them in there. Okay, just like that. Second thing I'm going to add is I've some leftover chops I've got. Now this is something I feed our own fish on as well. A lot of it goes in the water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 scoopful. Mix that in, and then you're going to get something that looks very similar to that there. Okay. The next thing for me is give so you've got the OG fish sauce. Absolutely stinks this stuff. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with the sauce like that. And what I tend to do is just give that a good shake, like so. And then guys, what I'm going to do is, obviously you can see, so it's got like a sticky garnish over it now, and also some of the chops have actually stuck to the base. It smells fantastic. So what I'm going to do is, this is the OG fish magic dust. Now in the magic dust there's over 30 different food particles in this. Is what I try to do is, obviously I'm fishing now, but ideally what I try to do is do this the night before. And what this does is that actually infuses the bait with the spices, the extracts, the blood platelets. There's various different things. I don't want to bore you. What I'm going to do is, again, you don't need loads of this, guys. This is almost like the best way I describe to people when I'm on the phone to them is almost like salt and pepper. You don't need much as you overpower it. So there it is. And as you can see on there, like that. And what I do is I get my hand in there again, and there's a nice little light dusting of that dust in there. You got some of the chop, and it's almost like a night, and it binds together. So what I do find is when you're fishing little lakes, you can almost make little golf balls and feed your spot, and it works really, really well. It's not something I'm going to do today. Well, I might go over and prep a couple of spots there that I know down the lake. But today I think I'm going to probably use the pole and just the end section of the pole and see how that goes. But again, all will be explained when I head down in a second. But that's my bait prep. Let's head down and let's go and catch some carp. I'm all for wildlife, but not when they look at it. Stupid thing. Over the back there's a heron flying over the back of the field now. There he goes, off the back there. He was just down here then. He was just down here, which is where we feed him. You bet your life there's something been snagged down there. I hope there's no fish, dead fish. And I think we're all right. There's a lot of commotion there. That is really muddy, that water. That's not normally that muddy. And there's also something feeding right down there, so that's a good sign. But hopefully that heron hasn't done any damage to any fish. What we've been finding is recently over the back there that he's been stabbing them, throwing them on the bank and just letting them die. Not eating them, just letting them die. So here it is, guys. Here's the lake. You haven't seen this before. It's about half an acre. I reckon there's probably about 200 fish in there, between the range of about 3 and 10 pounds. There's a couple of better ones in here, a handful of better ones. It's a lined lake, so we lined it ourselves because the clay quality wasn't enough to hold the water here. And there's actually I'm not going to fish up here today, because I'm probably going to fish in that shallower bit, but there's a gravel bar that runs straight, it runs about here, from there to there. And then down the end here, I think the deepest part of the lake's probably between 5 and 6 foot, and again that's probably around this area here. And they do like to spawn up this end in that spawning season. The wind's actually trickling down here nicely, so that might be worth a shout. But anyway, I'm going to head back up here now, back up to my car, get some rigs ready. I've also got some foodie bits I'm going to do today to show you guys, but I cannot wait, I cannot wait. Right, let's get them rods out.
I don't wanna stay here, and I don't wanna be alone. Everything is going wrong and I don't know where to hide. I just need to be loved, and I don't wanna be alone. You're saying that there's no pride, but beneath my pride I hide.
So how am I going to be fishing today, guys? So basically what I've got there is a size 4 hook, which is a Fang X. It's a Nash hook. I do like them. Some people hate them, I rate them. It's a 7-inch boom, guys. I've got a little kicker there to help with it out. I haven't put any putty on the hook, and I've got a 14mm OG fish there, bottom bait, with a tiny little sliver of zig foam on the top, which is a red zig foam. It's something I absolutely love, but it's more of a visual more than anything this time of year, just so they sit, and also something I've been doing in the summer months and doing really well. And then moving on to a sort of a tube setup. There's no sort of rules here, it's our rules, but I mean I like to try and keep it safe. I've pushed the rubber on quite hard because I don't want the lead coming off on this lake. I'm fishing a hybrid setup, so it's a quick and easy, so I can just push the kicker back. I've just pushed the end in there, and I'm probably fishing about ½ a metre there of tubing. I love tubing because I do feel it gives you that real nice presentation at the bottom, and I do feel you can get away with fishing slightly different presentation, meaning when you're fishing silt, it sits on the top of silt better than say a leader does. It's just how I fish, and it seems to work for me. So there it is, that's what I'm doing, and let's get a rod out. Right, so I'm going to put it out with the pole and keeping my voice down because I'm right behind the lake now. I'm literally going to go that many baits, a little bit more sauce, and a little bit more dust. Okay, maybe a big bit. Pop that in there, like that, and that should do the trick. Let's get it out. Ghosty that I was given. There he is, there he is. There's, I mean. Well, that certainly didn't take long. Oh, he's a lively one. Pristine little common. This is definitely one that's probably come up in here as well, actually, from the look of it. Just get this hook out. Again, using a barbless hook, should be easy to get out, but this one isn't. There we go, that's out. Right, let's get her up, show you. Come on, mate. It's alright, it's alright. There we are, look at that. Lively little thing. There he is, guys, look at that, nice little one, nothing massive, probably £3, something like that. OG fish, little 14mm. I nearly stacked it, nearly threw the camera in the water and all, but like I said, first blood, and maybe one of my last fish of this year. Come on, the carp. Let's get you back. Yes. Right, so I'm not going to get any video of this, guys, but obviously there's my rig. I'm just going to literally flick a new bit in. I've now almost, I'm sure if I put a rod back out, I may catch another one, but I'm always killed that spot. So what I'm going to do is to let that little spot there rest a little bit. I'm literally just going to come round again without stacking it. I'm going to come round. I think I'm going to put a rod here, which is another area I feed. I'm going to go around there with the pole like I did originally, drop it there, and then obviously get my line lay where I'm happy with it, and then put back on the alarm over there and go from there. I'm not going to record that, guys, but I'm going to get the rod out now. Right, rod out, happy with that. Nice little donk over there. There is a clean spot over there. I mean, I've been in there with the waders and stuff. It's clear. Nice slack line, got that perfect line lay. Obviously tip is pointing to where I'm fishing more in that sort of opening, because you do find you pick the bigger ones up. The bigger ones, they're not silly in here, because when you feed them in the summer, they all come up, and then all of a sudden a big one will come up at the back, and then just take a couple and you won't see them again. Now, if anybody's had that scenario before and they're on the bank and they're just getting plagued with little ones, and then bigger ones are sort of taking the mick, get in the comments down below and let me know if you've been in that predicament, should we say. But they do like in here as well. So now this is somewhere else, and I think the previous video I'd done, I think, was fishing with marshmallows. I was actually fishing in this peg here, and I was catching them down there. But what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to put a fish up on the screen now that I stocked back in 2014, and the fish hasn't come out since, and that would be a fish that I would love to catch. So there it is. What a fish. It's quite a nice fish, that. Nice common, proper rhino head on it, and again, something I would love to get back in my photo album after not seeing it for a very long time. And it definitely hasn't died, because obviously we're up here on a sort of daily basis, so you would sort of see if a rhinoceros was sort of floated about in there. So there it is. Well, it wouldn't be a Parker Brothers vlog, would it, about some Garibaldis? The amount of Garibaldis we got for Christmas was ridiculous, and I thank every single one of you that sent me some boldies, because these are absolutely lovely.
To my eyes in the dark, stare into my eyes forever.
Hey, fish number 2. You can see the OG fish bait there popping out of its mouth. Now that there, I bet you that is the heron. I put money on that is the heron. This is what I mean. They're a big pain in the bum. Let's get this one back. What a beautiful fish though. Right, wow. Second fish, that means one thing. Well, to me anyway. I had some Garibaldis to warm me up, but look at this, mate. Look at this, mate. Leftover Chinese, Ben. Show me the microwave. Right, Microwave, here I come, because this is getting more. I've got satay chicken skewer in there and all, lads. Look at it. Buzzing. Let's get this warmed up. My fingers, I'm struggling here. My thumb's burning. I've got a fork in my mouth and one hot Chinese. That's the longest I've had to wait for a bite. We've been about 10-15 minutes on now since the last clip. Rob went out lovely. Apologies about the wind, guys. I'm going to try and protect you. Wind's coming across the lake. But yeah, it's just nice to be back out. I've got a few good big trips booked in next week. Up a famous, well, I say not famous, it's a favourite of mine, West Lakes it is, Chichester. And I'm really looking forward to getting back up there. A couple of fish in there I want, and also I saw probably the prettiest fish in the lake last year when I went up there with Nick. And if you haven't seen that video, guys, make sure you go over to the channel and check that out. It was the pretty one he caught, and it was West Lakes. Oh mate, what a fish. But I'm going to give it another hour or so now, I think, down here, and see if I can nick one. The wind's coming up, the rain's getting worse and worse. I mean, although we've had a little flat spot now where it's stopped. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm happy because I'm out on the bank and I'm fishing. But what I will say is, guys, another little bit within this video I think it's worth touching on is winter fishing and what to look out for, or where to fish, where you put your rigs, different shallow pressures, all these different factors that come into play when you're fishing in the winter months that could make all the difference to put a fish on the bank. So I'm going to touch on just a couple of them things in a second. Still nothing, but yeah, I was out there filming the battery, guys. I'm talking to myself for about 2 minutes, but I'm probably going to give it, I'll start again, I'm going to probably give it another hour. I think it's getting quite windy here, if I'm brutally honest with you, and there's the rain is meant to come in. It's on off on off. I've just went a sort of a patch now where it isn't raining, so yeah, I'm taking advantage of that, and obviously done some quick video. But what I wanted to touch on, guys, is obviously winter fishing and how to get more fish on the bank. And I think there's two tips, and the first one is when you head into these waters, don't have a peg in mind. I think so many people get the illusion, oh, you know, I've seen it, I've watched it in a YouTube video, that's gonna put the fish on the bank. And I'm not saying me, I'm just saying YouTube videos as a general. We've all done it, we've all watched them and thought, oh, I've got to get in that peg, I've got to get in that peg. You turn up, you've got all these ambitions, and you're thinking, yeah, I've seen it, I know what I'm doing, and you don't catch nothing. So what I'm trying to put across is, and my first tips here for winter fishing, is making sure that you keep your eyes open and you're very proactive in regards to looking for the fish. That may be a small vortex, a show from 100 yards away, but my thoughts are, if you see one fish, there may be numerous other fish with it. So my tip to you guys is just keep your eyes open through the winter months, and don't run and jump straight in a peg, the first peg you see, and don't have this sort of peg in mind prior to getting to a lake. Get there, do a few laps. I'd rather spend 3 hours walking around and find the fish and then be 24 hours in a peg and not catch nothing. And that's certainly put fish on the bank for me this year. And I'm not just saying in the winter months, all year round without fail. I'll sit there, I'll walk around for an hour or two, walk round, find a fish, found a fish. If I can do that, then put rigs on them. Your chances go from here to here. The second tip to you guys is baiting. Now, baiting this time of year, don't be put off by giving bait to them if they're feeding, but also don't be one of these guys that goes to the lake and absolutely fills it in and expects it's going to happen. Now, you're probably watching this and think, Ben, you are the lad that goes to a lake and fill it in. Yes, I am. Yes, I love bait fishing. That's me. That I love fishing over bait. I just feel more confident. But if the fish aren't feeding, I don't keep putting it in. I would rather hold off on it. I've had a fish, right, I'm going to top up now. I've had a fish, right, I'm going to top up a few more swarms, and that is how I bait. You know, for instance, linear, I think I went through 40 kilos, something like that, in like 4 days. But the fish were having it. They were having it. It was clear. They were boshing over the spot. I was getting fish in well, there was fish in my net. I had, I think, 11 fish or something like that in the end. But you got 10, 20 pounders coming in over your spot, and you got 5, 10 k out there. They will hoover that up within 30 minutes to an hour. Depending on how hungry they are. So just bear that in mind, guys. And also another massive one for me this time of year. Shh, I'm in. Gotta go. This happened the last few times I've been videoing. It seems to happen to me every single time. Fish in the net there now, another small one, nice little comment. Luckily I didn't stack on the way over, and sorry for putting you in my pocket there, but what I was saying was singles. Now, singles at the right time of the year, this time of the year, is something that I love doing as well. So yes, I love fishing over bait if the fish are feeding, but also like fishing singles on fish's heads. Now, meaning I've seen a fish 100 yards or whatever, 10 yards, I will put a single, whether that be a little fluoro, but I'm also very confident fishing OG fish and OG fruit and nut and small baits with little toppers on, with foam on the hook. Must have foam on the hook. That's just my personal preference, and cast to show and fish. And again, that has put some good fish on the bank for me this year, guys. Well, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to show you this fish I got in the net. Slightly bigger, this one. Look at that one. Again, nothing ginormous, guys. I wouldn't really class this as a rhinoceros pig, but I would say slightly bigger than the other one. Pristine common, and probably one of the ones that's probably come up in this lake again. And believe it or not, I've actually had 3 fish on the same hook bait. It'd be lovely to catch a 4th one on the same hook bait, but I think I want to try and catch one more, guys, and then I'm going to call this a day. But look at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Common. Yes! So that's it, rod back out on the money, with a little bag again, and then I've also put a handful of baits over the top of it. Like I said, hopefully I can nick one more before I go, and hopefully it's a big one. And that's funny because over there where I've put the bait earlier, just over here, fish is just shown on there. You bet your life they're munching on that earlier. That bait I had, that rod I had out there earlier. Come on, Ben, spit it out. Come on. Well, it didn't take long. Look at this. Look at this, boy. Another little common, and probably similar, or maybe just probably similar size to the last one. 4 fish, 1 hook bait. Come on, the OG fish. Get in there. Well, that hook bait's no longer 14 mil, it's probably more like 10. But look at this, mate. Nice. Another little common. What sport this time of year. I cannot grumble with that. I'm well happy with that. Well, thank you very much, mate, and you're probably going to be my last carp of 2021. Thank you very much again, Mr. Common. I'm on the carp. Wow, what an exciting little couple of hours fishing there, guys. I can't grumble, whether they're big, whether they're small. To be fair, I love them all. That rhymed, but yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. If you've liked this video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward, and hopefully I've brung you an absolute banger. And remember, stay tuned, because next week, guys, I'm actually at West Lakes, and that will be hopefully a video where well, it would be lovely to nail a couple of winter biggies. It really would, because there's one fish that maybe go 40-pounder at the moment, even though they're slightly down on weight. So there it is, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that. See you next Sunday, 7:30. Peace out, all the best.